Have you ever felt like you're working hard but can't tell if you're actually moving forward? Or wondered why some people seem to unlock freedom faster, even when they started where you did? You can do everything right. Save carefully, plan responsibly, work without excuses, and still feel like progress keeps slipping through your hands. The truth is, wealth doesn't move in a straight line. It unfolds through stages. Most people don't know which one they're in, so every decision feels like guesswork. Every wealth journey follows 7 invisible stages. Miss one, and you restart the cycle. Most people spend decades looping between the same 2, mistaking motion for momentum. But once you know where you stand, everything changes. Welcome to the 7 stages of wealth creation, the psychological map that shows why some reach financial freedom and others stay in frustration. But most importantly, you'll pinpoint exactly where you stand. Behind every fortune is a sequence that almost broke midway. Behind every burnout is someone stuck between stages, mistaking chaos for strategy. When you see the pattern, you stop blaming yourself and start focusing on rhythm. Because building wealth isn't luck. It's timing, patience, and staying long enough for your stage to evolve. Let's start with stage 1. Most people begin their financial lives trapped between survival and stability. Bills shrink the future. Every month feels like damage control. In this space, logic rarely helps. Emotion drives every choice. You tell yourself, once I earn more, I'll finally breathe. But expenses expand with income, and the pressure never leaves. It's not that people are bad with money, they're simply tired of chasing precision in a system built on uncertainty. That's why being reasonable beats being perfectly rational. A rational plan assumes calm markets and flawless discipline. A reasonable one assumes you're human. It knows you'll forget, panic, or change direction, and it leaves space for that. When you design finances that tolerate mistakes, you actually stick to them. Stage 1 is survival mode. Money arrives only to leave again. Now let's move on to stage 2. This stage is stability. Structure begins to form. You start budgeting, tracking, learning to delay gratification. But here's the trap. If you equate intelligence with complexity, you'll complicate your plan until it collapses. Simplicity keeps you consistent. Consistency keeps you stable. That's why calm investors quietly pass the clever ones, because they stay in the game while others chase perfection. And that steady patience becomes the foundation of every stage that follows. Picture a 7-step ladder rising from scarcity to serenity. At the bottom is survival. You trade hours for stability. In the middle sits security. You finally stop worrying daily. At the top waits freedom, and beyond it, purpose. Each rung is emotional before it's financial. You don't earn your way up, you evolve your way up. At stage 3, you discover a truth most people never grasp. Wealth is what you don't see. It's not the car in the driveway or the renovation photos on social media. It's the quiet buffer that lets you sleep. It's the emergency fund that buys you calm when others panic. The richest thing you own here is peace of mind. Security isn't glamorous because no one claps when you don't overspend, but that's exactly why it works. True wealth hides in simplicity. It's the quiet discipline of saying no when everyone else is chasing more. It's knowing that safety doesn't sparkle, but it compounds silently in the background. People mistake visibility for success, but the truth is, the wealthiest people you know probably look average, because their energy goes into assets, not appearances. They've realized that peace is a higher yield than applause. And that brings us to awareness. When you can see your financial rhythm, you begin to predict your next stage instead of stumbling into it. You start making decisions from confidence, not fear. Every month becomes a message, showing whether your system is holding or leaking. That's when the journey stops feeling random and starts feeling like progress. Before we continue, subscribe so you don't miss our next video, where we will share retirement strategies that get you there faster. Now, let's climb higher, where progress turns visible and temptation begins. Stage 4 is momentum. The moment effort starts compounding emotionally. Debt shrinks, savings grow. You feel control for the first time, and that feeling is addictive. But momentum is fragile. It attracts comparison, and comparison invites risk. This is where the never enough becomes a mirror. You start looking sideways, measuring your progress against others. You tell yourself you're motivated, but you're really restless. Instead of protecting the system that got you here, you push harder, take shortcuts, chase shiny outcomes. The irony? Momentum dies not from lack of speed, but from losing direction. Here's what most people miss. The middle stages of wealth are the most dangerous because they feel like mastery but aren't. You've escaped survival but haven't yet reached security. Your confidence outpaces your experience, and that gap tempts you into risk. You see others investing boldly or scaling faster and think you're behind. But the truth is, momentum grows best in silence. The more you force it, the more fragile it becomes. Here's the pattern. People in stage 4 either graduate to growth or reset to survival. The difference isn't intelligence, it's humility. When you accept enough, you preserve energy for longevity. Greed drains focus. Patience multiplies it. The best investors aren't the boldest. They're the ones who endure boredom without breaking the plan. That's why the middle of the ladder decides your future more than the top. Growth demands maturity, a calm detachment from noise. Stage 4 teaches restraint disguised as readiness. When you learn to protect progress instead of proving it, the game changes. Get this right, and you enter stage 5 with grace instead of burnout. Let's move forward. Meet Daniel. At 35, he'd built momentum, a steady income, rising savings, and a sense that he was finally winning. Then markets dipped, his portfolio halved, and fear replaced pride. He realized he'd mastered the art of getting wealthy, not staying wealthy. Getting wealthy requires optimism, the courage to act. Staying wealthy requires paranoia, the wisdom to protect. One builds, the other preserves. Daniel learned that growth is a balance between curiosity and caution. He stopped chasing perfect returns and focused on building systems that couldn't break easily. In 6 years, his net worth recovered, but more importantly, so did his patience. This is stage 5, growth that lasts. Here you learn that consistency outperforms intensity. Wealth stops being exciting and starts being structural. You automate, diversify, simplify. Boredom becomes a signal of success, not failure. And with boredom comes peace, the quiet realization that real progress is slow by design. Stage 5 is where money begins to serve you instead of the other way around. That's transformation. The invisible shift from chasing outcomes to trusting process. And it's what separates temporary success from enduring wealth. Awareness is acceleration. When you finally see which stage you're in, you stop forcing momentum and start nurturing it. Each stage demands a new identity. Survivor, stabilizer, builder, protector, then creator. Confusion happens when you act like one while living in another. At this point, wealth building becomes psychological, not mathematical. You understand that money problems aren't always money problems, they're rhythm problems. Stage 6, freedom, arrives not when you have enough, but when you trust your systems enough to let them work without obsession. Freedom isn't quitting work, it's quitting worry. It's choosing what to do with your hours without fearing the cost. It's designing time on your own terms. And that shift prepares you for the final stage, purpose, where wealth stops being personal and becomes generational. By the way, if you're enjoying the video so far and want more topics like this, comment the word "more" so I know. Now, let's get into the final stage in our wealth creation journey. Stage 7 is purpose, the quiet summit most people never reach because they stop at comfort. Freedom gives you time, but purpose gives that time direction. After years of chasing numbers, something inside you changes. You stop asking, "How much can I earn?" and start asking, "What can my money make possible?" The conversation shifts from accumulation to contribution. Purpose isn't charity for the spotlight. It's designed for meaning. It's using your wealth to extend values beyond yourself, supporting a child's education, mentoring someone just starting their journey, building something that lasts when you're no longer there to watch it. In purpose, wealth becomes language. Every decision says something about who you are. The danger here isn't greed, it's comfort. Many reach freedom and settle, but purpose asks you to keep evolving, to stay curious. You realize that legacy isn't about what people remember, it's about what keeps working when you stop touching it. This stage is quieter than the rest, but infinitely more powerful, because it transforms money from fuel into meaning. And that brings us to the final reflection. How to sustain this clarity and stay emotionally grounded no matter where you stand on the ladder. Before we continue, let me share a tool that helps you see where you are in real time. The Trip to Wealth Command Center. It's a simple yet powerful Google Sheets system that visualizes your money like an investor's dashboard. It tracks your income, cash flow, and net worth, but most importantly, it helps you see your financial rhythm in real time. You'll know exactly which stage you're in and what's holding you back. Join the early access waitlist below and lock in an exclusive discount. The truth is, clarity is the best protection against risk. When you can see your money clearly, you design for both luck and risk instead of reacting to them. Start small. Track your savings rate, fixed expenses, and emergency buffer. Don't aim for perfection, aim for awareness. Wealth doesn't require control, it requires visibility. That's what keeps emotions steady when the world isn't. Imagine what it feels like when your finances stop controlling you, when you can finally see the road ahead through a clear financial windshield. Most people navigate their money like driving through fog. The command center wipes that glass clean. Clarity turns chaos into calm because progress becomes visible. And visible progress is motivating. It builds momentum without anxiety. So your practical rule today, build margins before moments. Protect peace before profit. Because luck favors the calm observer far more than the frantic competitor. Let's close with the truth that ties all 7 stages together. The perspective that turns wealth into wisdom. When you look back across the 7 stages, you'll notice something subtle. Each one isn't just about money, it's about emotion. Survival teaches endurance, stability teaches discipline, security teaches gratitude, momentum tests humility, growth rewards consistency, freedom grants time, and purpose gives meaning. When money chooses you, it's because you've stopped chasing control and started mastering composure. Wealth is less about winning and more about lasting. Every dollar becomes a lesson in perspective, every challenge a test of patience. So stop trying to beat the odds. Learn to live gracefully within them. Because when you do, money stops feeling like chaos and starts feeling like conversation. It becomes something you can understand, manage, and even enjoy. That's the real definition of success. Not accumulation, but calm. And here's the quiet irony. When you stop obsessing over results, results finally start to appear. When peace becomes the goal, progress becomes the byproduct. That's the heart of Trip to Wealth, teaching you to move from pressure to presence, from anxiety to awareness. If you found value today, I highly recommend watching my next video, Why Money Starts Chasing You After These Shifts. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Leave your comment below, especially if this video helped you see your current stage more clearly. I appreciate your support more than you know. Until next time, stay consistent, stay patient, and stay winning. See you in the next one, Money Magician.